Z, and welcome to another awesome episode today of the
Rockin' House.
Today, our special guest today is Zuzu Mansour, the lead singer and the amazing front vocalist for the band Soraia. Rock dude.
Yeah, Zuzu is from Philadelphia. Her band's based in Philadelphia. Soraia, she's Egyptian and Belgian heritage. Beautiful girl. Perfect vehicle to front a band. And she's slippery. She reminds me a lot of Scott Weiland of STP, kind of like the female version of Scott. She's like
Absolutely.
monster entertainer.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
full of energy. She rocks the house. And that's what people like about this amazing singer. Sings through the roof, besides the point.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful and
Absolutely amazing.
the first person to recognize her band was Bon Jovi.
Yep.
And then signed a deal with little Steven Van Zandt of the E Street Band. Oh, how amazing is that?
That's insane, dude.
That's the thing. I mean, little Steven Van Zandt of the Underground Garage and the E Street Band. A great
Absolutely.
thing to mention. And down here,
Yeah, actually, we got this amazing album right here of Joan Jett, and we're going to tell you what this has to do with
I got a
Zuzu
signed
right now.
copy of her '83 album, and we're big fans of Joan Jett. And the thing is, she was Zuzu and her amazing Soraia band opened up a few shows for Joan Jett. How cool is that? You know.
Absolutely.
So really, this album here is a mystery to me, and I'm going to ask Ricky Bird, who's going to be here Monday night.
Yeah.
Some information about this album. It was only released in Canada, so that's part of the deal. And asking Ricky about the album. There's not tremendously big hits on here like "I Love Rock and Roll" or "Bad Habit" or "Bad Reputation,"
No.
but great album. I got a signed copy. I met Joan along the way. Great. So Soraia opened up for Joan Jett, and I just wanted to pass that along and talk about her little record deal. And she's forging ahead. She's been around for 15 years.
Absolutely, and she just released a new album, Dig Your Roots. You got to check it out. It's hard and heavy and rocks hard, man. Let's bring on Zuzu to tell us all about it right now. Welcome, Zuzu, to the Rockin' House. All right, this is Marky Z, and I'm here with Rock Dude and another awesome Rockin' House, and I have Zuzu Mansour of Soraia with us today. Zuzu, welcome to the Rockin' House, girl. Great to see you again.
Marky?
I'm doing awesome. How about you?
I'm doing great.
Awesome.
Record shopping, I'm happy.
Okay. Well, listen, I want to start with this, and I think this is a good way to start our show with you today, is how did you get involved with Soraia, or is this a project you put together as an artist, and it's landed where it is now? So let's find out how Soraia became Soraia, with you fronting the band as amazing a singer you are.
Oh, thank you. I always wanted to be in a band, and I think I didn't know how to put a band together, so I started out auditioning. It's all like a process, you know. You realize that's what you want to do. You realize that you can do it. You realize that you got to honor it.
Yep.
And I started auditioning for cover bands, and
Okay.
it just never felt good. It never felt
Sure.
like I was playing with strangers.
Yeah.
And I never actually did a show out with any of those cover bands. I tried out for like 3 or 4 cover bands. And I think
Okay.
I figured out pretty early on that I wasn't meant to sing other people's music,
Right.
you know, without my interpretation of it.
Uh-huh.
So I started working acoustic guitar with a good friend of mine, a close friend of mine. He later became more than that, but we'd go to open mics and we'd play acoustic, we'd write together, and then eventually I just really went after what I want, which is I wanted a band.
There you go.
And, like everyone else, we started doing ads and things like that, and we auditioned people, and I didn't even know what I was looking for, but Travis, who's with me still, is one of the original members, and then
Right.
everyone else has come and gone, but Soraia has always been a band. I've never wanted to quit on that, because I think the collaboration is much more important than the comfort
Absolutely.
of getting all the things you want, you know? It's kind of like the tension is good for rock and roll. It makes rock and roll, I think.
Absolutely. Now, how long has this band existed? I mean, I know it's been several years that I know, but how long has it been?
I mean, we started playing shows in 2000. We started recording in 2005,
Okay.
And then I'd say playing shows around 05, 06. So 15 years I've been singing
Wow.
and playing in Soraia. I mean,
That's awesome.
Soraia has changed a million times, sound-wise, player-wise, and we've grown over the years. But I think like around 08 to 10, we started getting really serious. And then, by 10, by 9 and 10, we were already opening for bigger acts and stuff and
Right.
going from there and making albums and vinyl and living the dream. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, that's awesome. So that's how this all started. So it was from your initial focus, your initial dream, your initial something that came in and said, "Hey, I want to do this." Like we all get. You know what I mean? Like me being a musician too, I knew I was going to do this at 6 years old.
Yeah.
And here I am, still doing it, and because
Yeah.
it's something we want to do, something we feel we have to do. I'll tell you what, we're going to come back with Zuzu in just a minute.
Fire crashing down a moonbeam, blood in her eyes, wailing a siren scream, wild woman. Oh yeah, she's all thunder and lightning through your bedtime prayers. No use fighting, girls already there. Wild woman, wild, wild woman. Yeah, come on. Yeah, she's a wild, wild woman. Yeah, she is. You're gonna play a fool, just like a wild child bullet. She got dirt in her nails, she got grit in her soul, white velvet inside, your veins are gold. Wild woman, wild child woman, yeah. Come on.
All right, I'm Marky Z, and I'm back again with Zuzu for Soraia. Welcome back again. It's great to see you. Really awesome what we talked about again in the first one is how things started with Soraia, how your dream came to pass and how it's here. And it's still going strong. But what I'd like to talk about this time is where is it going now? Like, how many albums are we in? I know the new album we have is Dig Your Roots, right?
Yeah.
And would
Yeah.
you say that your single that seems to be doing good is Wild Woman, which is an awesome song?
Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely. How's things going with this new album for you?
It's going really well. Dig Your Roots released March 13th of 2020, like
Nice.
the week the pandemic was announced, and we were already on tour, and we had to come home, and
Yeah.
but the songs stood on their own.
Yeah.
It kind of sucked we couldn't tour around it, but the songs stood on their own, and they got us further. Every album and every single we release
Okay.
exposes us to more and more fans, which is really
Yeah.
all you can ask for as an artist is to get more honest as you go.
Yeah.
To grow, to try new things, to take risks, and to try to expose the music to more people. I mean, it's still what it was from the very beginning. I've always, Dig Your Roots is about going back to who you are and being honest in your songwriting and who you're becoming. And so no band can stay stagnant if they're, keep growing. I mean,
Right.
no band sounds like they started out. And I think Dig Your Roots is an evolution of what Soraia has become. And we just recorded our next single. And so that's going to be further down the line into
Awesome.
another new album. So
Wow.
we just keep growing. I'm really proud of that record. It's done us well. It's about 7 months old now. So, but I still see it in record stores. I still hear good things about it. I'm still
Right.
talking about it, and
Right.
I'm just proud of it. Yeah.
Well, I know I went to see you perform live with Jeff Leonard, who owns Face the Music, a very good friend of ours, and you know him very well. We played drums for you for quite a bit until I guess you found somebody that could fit as a solid person. And I happened to be there, and Bon Jovi walked into the place. I can't remember the name of the place in New York, but it was a really cool place. And he was standing right there next to me. I said hi to him. He said hi to me. That's it. And he was watching you. I understand that somehow Bon Jovi was a key factor in the success of Soraia getting to where it is now and moving forward into the future. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, John Bon Jovi heard of us through a producer we were working with at the time, and
Okay.
he'd known about me for a while as a singer.
Nice.
And he asked us. We had a couple things in a row happen. Wes Scantlin from Puddle of Mud had seen us play at Whiskey A Go Go,
Cool.
and was really interested in the band and wanted to help showcase the band.
Nice.
So I remember John had asked us to open for Bon Jovi in Philly, in our hometown, and he asked Pierre Robert from WMMR to interview me. And
Nice.
so it was like a dream come true. I was like out of the woodwork. All of a sudden, it seemed like there's these big rock stars who were like Soraia, and I was like, oh, cool.
Of
But
course.
John invested in us, and he invested in me in particular, in my songwriting.
That's
He let us
great.
use his studio. He would tell me the way it is. He helped me organize the showcases we did, and was a big part of In the Valley of Love and Guns, which came out in 2013. A lot of those songs were co-written with John and I. And,
Okay.
He definitely was an artist that helped me grow and kind of mentored me for a few years. And then little Steven Van Zandt came into the picture, and then little Steven kind of mentored us for a few years.
That's awesome.
Took the whole band in and worked with the band, and
Wow.
and then ended up signing us to his label, and we're still signed to that label today.
That is great. That is great. And
Yeah.
you said you have a single that's you guys are working on. You're ready to release a new single? Yeah.
In January. Yep, we already recorded it. It's done.
Awesome.
Artwork's done. Everything's done.
Awesome. Well, we definitely need to, we definitely need to find out how that's going, and of course, to keep our viewers, knowing about this kind of stuff, because people want music. Music is the universal language. And I'll tell you
Yes.
what, we're going to come back in just a minute with Zuzu again and talk about where the future of Soraia will be.
What you do, I'm stuck in it and can't get out. I want you, baby. I need you, baby. Let's bury the hatchet. I'll give you mine. I draw a line in the sand, yeah. You cross my line. I take a bite and you take what's mine, yeah. Hey, baby, I took the bait. Oh, I can't even see straight.
I'm Marky Z, and I'm back with Zuzu again for Soraia. Welcome again, and we're going to finish our show today and talk about where the future is for this band Soraia. Now, you did tell me that you've been together for 15 years and still going strong, and you just said that you were signed now to Van Zandt's record label and still are, and you got a new single coming out. Man, despite COVID, you guys are moving forward, and I love it. This stuff is not stopping. The scandemic is not stopping Zuzu, and that's awesome, and the band. So let's talk about how we're dealing with this. And I know it's a sore subject, but you'd be surprised how many different views I get from people when I ask them that question. Like, how are you guys handling the scandemic into the future here?
One day at a time. Like, honestly, I trust the science of it. I trust to mask up. I really believe in masking up. I believe in social distancing. I've done all that and I haven't got it. I'm still able to go to the record store and enjoy myself. I mean, my life is not on hold.
Right.
My band is not on hold, but I think out of respect for everybody, we try to be safe and we try to be honorable, and also put out the message that, you got to be safe and you got to be respectful of other people.
Right.
You don't have to agree with everybody. You don't, but you got to respect if somebody feels strongly, then you got to respect that. Like,
Sure.
Then I think most people that respect themselves and know what they really feel are able to communicate. I've met a lot of people that don't agree with things that I do, and then we're still friends. We just are more careful, or we talk about it. And I think what's good about the pandemic is it's got an opportunity for me to speak up. Because at this point, like, you have to speak up if you feel strongly about something. I don't mean speak up publicly. I don't know that Facebook is the place to advertise that stuff. It gets ugly there. But I do believe that, it's helped me be more assertive with the things that I want for myself.
Right.
It doesn't mean you gotta want it, You do you, I'll do me, kind of
Right.
thing. And I think do unto others is a big. It's always been a big morality thing for me. Do unto others as you would do to you, and that's not religious. That's just a moral way to be.
I
And
agree.
you usually get
Absolutely.
it back. I
Right.
find. But yeah, I mean, like in the pandemic, we've learned to, and my bands inspired me. They're the ones who got me back to rehearsing. They're the ones who kept me going. The fans have got me engaged. They'll
Nice.
say like, we really need to see you guys. We need to see you playing. So when I don't want to do it personally, or I'm in a way because I start looking ahead and getting fearful, I go, but that's what they need, and I'm not
Right.
here for me. I'm here to help others, So, and I love rock and roll. So any opportunity I have to do what I love, that's what we do.
Well, you know what? You came to my next subject I want to talk about. I love rock and roll.
Me
We
too.
know you also played with Joan Jett, and you had the opportunity to play with one of the best female guitar player singers as an icon. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Sure. I mean, it's funny how it happened. A big fan of ours, this guy Phil, took me and our drummer Brianna to a Joan Jett show, and I didn't even realize this. He said, I had asked you at a show. You had done an acoustic show at Randy Now's record shop. He goes, I asked you, who would you love to meet if you could meet anybody? And I just spurted out Joan Jett. And I didn't think anything of it. I don't even remember the conversation, but I slightly remember when you reminded me.
Right.
We ended up going that summer with him to see Joan Jett. It was like a three band festival, like a summer package tour thing.
Yeah.
We went backstage, and Meryl Laguna, who's a big, she's Blackheart Records with Kenny Laguna, Joan Jett, and Meryl and their daughter are all Blackheart Records.
Okay.
And Meryl came up to me and she said, "Are you Soraia? I love your music." And I was like, "What? Blackheart Records loves our music? Like, that's amazing."
Yeah.
And to me, that's what she was. And she's like, "I don't think Joan's meeting anybody." I was like, "I didn't expect to meet her or anything." I ended up meeting her that night.
Nice.
The next day, our label said that they had an opening spot available for the Joan Jett show they were doing with Little Steven's Underground Garage.
Nice.
And that was the first time we opened for her, and then Little Steven's been very helpful in connecting our two camps, and we've opened for her a number of times ever since. And
Awesome.
we opened for her on her birthday. We got to be part of that celebration.
Nice.
And it's an honor because she's my hero. She really is. Like, if you ever see Bad Reputation, that's a woman who didn't stop, and we need more examples of that. And she even said to me, she's like, "Zuzu, that's what you have to do today." So I take that responsibility heavily. That,
you do.
They're watching me and watching what I do. And little girls, too, they're watching and going like, I can do that, too. So I can't quit, no matter how hard it gets.
You're right, Sue. Well, you know what? I want to thank you for coming to the Rockin' House and sharing these moments and these things that we talked about. Absolutely amazing, and I'm sure that to be many other stories that we weren't able to cover, but that's okay. We could do it another time. So it was awesome having you. Me and Brian, I'm Marky Z. For having you on our show today, I'm out.
Without a trace, loves you hard, what can I say? You're a real lost cause, the web's already spun. Yeah, she's a vicious dragon, sweet the fire, cut you but don't leave a scar. Your love is sold, it's way too late.